Coming up on 5 Minute News. Microsoft says Russian hackers actively targeting US campaigns. Virus bill blocked in Senate as prospects dim for new relief. And how coronavirus attacks the brain, causing symptoms like delirium and confusion. It's Friday, September 11. I'm Anthony Davis. The same Russian military intelligence outfit that hacked the Democrats in 2016 has renewed vigorous US election-related targeting, trying to breach computers at more than 200 organizations, including political campaigns and their consultants, Microsoft said on Thursday. The intrusion attempts reflect a stepped-up effort to infiltrate the US political establishment, the company said. What we've seen is consistent with previous attack patterns that not only target candidates and campaign staffers, but also those who they consult on key issues, Tom Burt, a Microsoft vice president, said in a blog post. UK and European political groups were also probed, he added. Most of the hacking attempts by Russian, Chinese and Iranian agents were halted by Microsoft security software and the targets notified, he said. The company would not comment on who may have been successfully hacked or the impact. Although US intelligence officials said last month that the Russians favor President Donald Trump and the Chinese prefer his Democratic challenger Joe Biden, Microsoft noted on Thursday that Chinese state-backed hackers have targeted high-profile individuals associated with the election, including people associated with the Biden campaign. China's hackers largely gather intelligence for economic and political advantage, while Russia tends to weaponize stolen data to destabilize other governments. Microsoft did not assess which foreign adversary poses the greater threat to the integrity of the November presidential election. The consensus among cybersecurity experts is that Russian interference is the gravest. Senior Trump administration officials have disputed that, although without offering any evidence. In fact, they have disputed almost all intelligence pointing to Russia since 2016, including the bounties on US troops. The Microsoft post shows that Russian military intelligence continues to pursue election-related targets, undeterred by US indictments, sanctions, and other countermeasures. It appears that while Russia helps Trump get re-elected, his administration won't try to stop them. Senate Democrats scuttled a scaled-back GOP coronavirus rescue package on Thursday as the parties argued to a standstill over the size and scope of the aid, likely ending hope for coronavirus relief before the November election. The mostly party-line vote capped weeks of wrangling that gave way to election-season political combat and name-calling over a fifth relief bill that all sides say they want but are unable to deliver. The bipartisan spirit that powered earlier aid measures is all but gone. Democrats said the measure shortchanged too many pressing needs. Republicans argued it was targeted to areas of widespread agreement, but the 52-47 vote fell well short of what was needed to overcome a filibuster. The $650 billion measure is significantly smaller than legislation promoted by Republican leaders this summer. But that version was too big for most conservatives, so the GOP bill was instead stripped back to focus on school aid, jobless benefits, and help for small businesses. That maximized Republican support even as it alienated Democrats, who say such a piecemeal approach would leave out far too many vulnerable people. The scaled-back GOP virus plan is roughly 1/7 the size of a Democratic package that passed the House in May, and about 1/4 of the $2.2 trillion set by Nancy Pelosi last month. Meanwhile, Americans' money is fast running out. With few people back in full-time work and the virus still raging across the US, it's only a matter of time before people become desperate. The coronavirus targets the lungs foremost, but also the kidneys, liver, and blood vessels. Still, about half of patients report neurological symptoms, including headaches, confusion, and delirium, suggesting the virus may also attack the brain. A new study offers the first clear evidence that in some people the coronavirus invades brain cells, hijacking them to make copies of itself. The virus also seems to suck up all the oxygen nearby, starving neighbouring cells to death. It's unclear how the virus gets to the brain or how often it sets off this trail of destruction. Infection of the brain is likely to be rare, but some people may be susceptible because of their genetic backgrounds, a high viral load, or other reasons. The study was posted online on Wednesday and has not yet been vetted by experts for publication, but several researchers said it was careful and elegant, showing in multiple ways that the virus can infect brain cells. The virus may get to the brain through the olfactory bulb, which regulates smell, or even from the bloodstream. It's unclear which route the pathogen is taking and whether it does so often enough to explain the symptoms seen in people. 40 to 60% of hospitalized COVID-19 patients experience neurological and psychiatric symptoms like brain fog and delirium might be harder to pick up in patients who are sedated and on a ventilator. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Please subscribe, rate and review us at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an independent production covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering unbiased, verified and truthful world news daily.